ghost me for damn near a year and not say hey, yay, nay, or boo. Just cannot do that with people. Sometimes you have to leave the ass where they at. It was no longer there. I don't know. I would see certain things before they even come to fruition. Like, I wasn't trying to get her to do anything for me. It's just that, damn, be a friend. I like women. He know all about you, and he know I like you and want you and stuff, and I used to like you. I let it be what it is, because I ain't trying to stress and I ain't trying to press no friendship, because number one, I ain't tripping. I really just want to know why you tried to set me up, and yet I would never truly trust you because you still was cool with it. You chose you over me. Like, your well-being and safety, and whatever it was over me, you was willing to sacrifice me for that. My channel, welcome. Hey, I'm hoping that one day you find something on this platform that resonates with you and make you want to come back and subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm hoping you enjoyed today's video. I know y'all are here for a story time, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you. But before we get to that, y'all go ahead, drop down below in the comment section, leave a hey girl, hey, what's up big sis? All comments are welcome and greatly appreciated. Just keep them respectful. As you all have seen the title, you have an idea of what this story is going to be about. So family, let's get to that story. So tonight's story time is about somebody that I haven't talked about in a while. She was a friend that I met while on one of my jobs. Not the job that I had long term, but a job that I was ultimately having to work at when I was transitioning through my court situation about my ex-fiance and all of that drama. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about all that drama, I did give story times about that. It's a whole playlist section. I think it's called I Ruined Everybody's Christmas. And I'm sure I've talked about him and other people that's associated with him in other story times as well. But ultimately, most of the stuff about him is in that playlist. Y'all just go to my playlist section and go down a rabbit hole and look at all my content. I will love y'all long term for that. Well, anyway, y'all, this girl that I'm talking about tonight is Dree. Dree was a girl that like I said, that I was friends with from this job. Me, her, and this other girl, we got really tight real fast. I introduced Dree to my family and a couple of my other friend girls. And if I do that to you, then that means you like family to me, because anybody that truly knows me know I ain't doing that too fast. You might not ever meet people in my family. And so for you to take advantage of that situation and try to do dirty, low down things to meet somebody that was ultimately there for you. You could call on me. I was there doing things for you. We had a really good bond. And then, like I said, this girl, just a little background, she, the last time I was talking to her, she tried to get me ex-trafficked and robbed by the dude that she was dealing with. I met this dude at some point in time as well. You know, I had been around her dude or whatever, because, you know, I had been at their apartment they had, and just, it had been some time since I had been around her, and here she come a few years on down the line trying to do this to me, you know? So ultimately, I just stopped dealing with her. There was no closure there. But mind you, we were still friends on social media like Facebook, because, you know, that's just what it was. So that was the only way that she could probably even try to get in touch with me. But I started to see her in my Instagram, and it was like in the close, like people you may know, whatever like that. And I feel like she had to be looking for me for her to be there, because I ain't looking for nobody. I ain't really adding people. If I add anything, it's some pages that I chose to follow. You know, certain pages, not people, but certain pages. And they may, of course they're people, but they're showcasing certain things, because that's the content I like to have in my For You section of Instagram. But my Facebook has been deactivated for a long time, for years. I would get on there every now and again to go look for old pictures and just old things. I'm looking for certain people I want to reach out to. That's the only reason why I would have it up. So I decided to go to Facebook to see this girl, because like I said, I seen her on there, but it took me a minute to realize who this was, because I'm like, the name looked familiar. I know the name, but the face wasn't matching up with the name. But it was her, y'all. The girl had gained a lot of weight. And as in most people over time. And I just feel like she probably just gained a lot of stress weight because ultimately I found out that she was going through a whole lot of stuff. Stuff worse than what I was going through. You know, she was around when I was going through that stuff with my ex-fiance, but her situation was a lot crazier. She was a female that didn't have her kids. She hadn't had her kids since they was little kids. And like I said, she was going through a lot. She had been going through a lot then. She was in an abusive relationship with this guy that she was supposedly married to. And so that's why her kids weren't with her. They was with their fathers. But ultimately, it's like she never got herself together, so she never got her kids back. And usually when somebody is in that situation, they just not fit to be a parent. And she's somebody that has probably burnt all her bridges with her family. I've met people in her family. I've met her brother look just like her. They're like a year apart or something. I've met one of her oldest siblings, and I really feel like she burned her bridge with her. You know, some people just don't get along. Some siblings just don't get along. And her brother was somebody that, you know, always was trying to talk to me, but it would just be weird because his sister was trying to talk to me too. I mentioned, like, she tried to date me a lot of times, and it's just, for some reason, a lot of my closest girls always wanted to be curious with me, and I'm like, girl, what the fuck? But we ain't gonna get into that right now. So, but anyway, I just didn't want to get with her brother because he really wasn't my type. He was giving real lame to me, and I just didn't want to get involved with him in that aspect because I know if me and her fall out, then, you know, it's going to be awkward. I thought about all these things in advance. Like, I've always had discernment about certain things, and I saw things before they happened. I know, call it what you want, but I really used to see certain things. But anyway, so we was cool or whatever. We was still cool. So I get on there, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely her. She look a little different. I hadn't seen her in a long time. I know the girl look like y'all. But I also just want to get on Facebook to see was she even just active on there. And was it just so happened to be a bogus? I don't know what I was really thinking. I just was trying to make sure that this was really her for real. Because people do making fake pages of people. I did meet other people that she was cool with that I knew. And it was just a lot of drama there. But anyway, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to her. And I feel like I reached out to her because I really ultimately wanted closure about the situation. I wanted to know why she felt the need to try to put me in the situation. What possessed her to try to do this to me? Me of all people that was there and helped her the most, y'all. I would take this girl to go dry and wash her clothes. Like, I would give her a little bread and little stuff like that if she needed, because she had a job back then, but you know, I was doing really well for myself for a lot of years. You know, I always had stuff. Like I said, even after all that crazy with my fiance and all that court and me going to jail stuff, your girl was on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, right after that, I was back in my bag for real. So, you know, to her, I'm doing really well. So I feel like to her, I probably was the perfect person to try to set up. That's really how I felt. Like, not only was she trying to traffic me, just, you know, throw me out there to her dude is an easy target, but ultimately just try to rob me, because she kept saying, how far are you from your house to where I'm needing you to meet me? I also never met her, y'all. I was not going to meet this girl because it was giving, like, I'm telling y'all, this old story that I was talking about, baby, no, the discernment has been there. No, baby, God be looking out. Like, no, damn. What the? But anyway, we're going to get deep about that. But so, yes, I reached out to her in the inbox. It didn't take long because later on, sometime on down that day, she reaches back. Hey, girl. Gave her a little spiel about, you know, why we ain't connected or whatever. But I already knew why we ain't connected. I'm thinking maybe it was all the stuff in her brain, the rugs that she was taking, the recreational items that she was taking, made her get amnesia as to why I really ain't talked to her. I said, you know, I saw you on my For You, you know, I'm giving her all that or whatever, and I want to reach out, and I just, you know, need to ask some questions about some stuff that happened about why we fell out. And, you know, people always talk about how hard it is they have with somebody they've dealt with, that they've been in a relationship with, intimate with, or whatever. But people never truly talk about how bad the breakup be between you and your homegirl, your closest homegirl, your bestie, your sister. Those breakups are usually harder than the one, harder to get over, or, you know, cope with the loss of, than it is a relationship you have with a male, female, or whoever. Like, those friendship breakups be on a whole different level. People really never really truly talk about that. Like, I know y'all agree with me. Those be the worst ones. And for some reason, this one with her was a little hard. And it was, you know, because like I said, the bond we had, the times we had, just me being there, loving on her like she's my family. and you ultimately trying to ruin my life. I just really needed to know why. And normally I don't even be trying to seek that from nobody because it is what it is. But this is something different. And so, you know, I agreed to link up with her. She was like, oh, we gotta link up. She kept pressing. I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. Yeah, we can link right now. I was trying to hold out a minute. I was trying to give myself time to process all this stuff, you know, and what I really wanted to ask her. But ultimately, we hooked up like later on that weekend or whatever. Yeah, we set a time. And so it comes close to the time. I'm out there. This girl had me waiting about 30, 35 minutes, y'all. And I'm kind of pissed because I hate when people do that. Do not try to control my time in my day. If I give you a time, I expect you to be ready around that time. You know, at least close to that. Not have me wait 30, 35 minutes for you. For something that you ultimately wanted. You know, now. And of course, you know, I agreed to, you know, we can go have lunch or something like that. We ultimately was going to a Mexican spot. Food reasonably priced, usually good. Most people love Mexican food. So, hey, get some little drinks, talk over, whatever. Y'all, when that girl finally came out the house, when I say this girl, her was nappy as shit, just sticking straight up on top of her head. She had this, like, product shit caked up on the side of her head. Y'all, I ain't got no poker face, and I'm going to say exactly what's on my mind. Everybody knows about me. I look at her, she's like, what? I said, girl, what the hell is wrong with your head? I said, you knew what time I was coming over here. You had me waiting 35 minutes, you still look like that? Like, that shit just came out my mouth. She's like, oh my God, girl, I'm getting it together. I said, baby, you could have been did that. I said, you should have put some water on that shit and then put the gel on it and put it in there together. That's how you do that. You put the product in there, you put the water in it, and you brush that shit up. You know, her hair ain't too long, but it ain't too short. She could have also just slicked it to the back and put it in a low bun to the back. That would have looked so much better. She should do something, get it together. I had something trying to help her out, y'all. And not only that, she just looked raggedy. And you ain't got to have a lot of money to make yourself look presentable. You knew I was coming. You had plenty of time to try to get your shit together. You know, so you had a few days, you had half of the week. And you know me, you know I'm coming. But I ain't trying to outdo nobody. I wasn't flashy. I was just in a nice little, you know, cute little dress or whatever because it was the summertime. I'm looking good. Well, I would expect my friends to look a certain way too. And I know how she used to be. So I was just too shocked to see this girl like this. I know you was going through some shit, but girl, as a woman, you should want to look a certain way. I'm just saying, baby, you ain't got to have a lot of money to look decent. I was just too turned off, like, ugh. But at the same time, I try not to be too judgy because I really just don't also know how bad it is for you for real. And at the time, she was staying with this old guy. One thing about Dree, y'all, she was gonna have her some type of dude that was looking out for her. A man, something. It was an older guy. They was sharing a car. It was a lot going on there. I can't remember all the details of stuff, but yeah, she was transitioning between a new job or whatever. She found a little job, a little gig. She was going through some stuff, you know, and she told me all this stuff as she's in the car with me about all the drama with her. One of the dudes that she used to be married to. I think she'd been married a couple times. No, this was one of the baby daddies. She had been married to somebody, and I think this was the one that used to be her ass. He had the kids though. He had a couple of her kids. The other kids were grown. I think she had like 3 or 4 kids, something like that. But also he had a couple of kids. Y'all look just like her. Yeah. But he was supposed to be bringing them there for her to link up. But when he did come, but he didn't let them stay. They were supposed to be staying. That was the agreement. They was going to stay for a couple of days, and he was going to come back and get them. He came there with his girl, fiance, whoever. I don't really know all the details of this stuff. Just remembering what she told me. But they got into it real bad, and she damn near tried to kill this girl. Like, y'all think, hopefully you two don't trip on it. She damn near tried to take this girl out. And I get it. Like, sometimes when you in certain situations and people trigger you, you black out. I've been there before. I ultimately do believe her on that. She just blacked out because he was trying to attack her. He was trying to do all these things. He called the police on her before they even really fully got to the house. He called the police. It was nowhere in the agreement for them to meet with the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like he was trying to set this girl up in this bad space so she couldn't see them kids. He didn't want to bring them kids down there because, mind you, he don't stay in Memphis. So he had to drive from deep off in Mississippi to come bring them kids. It was just a lot there. She was going through all that. She was going through court stuff, possibly facing jail time. It was crazy. You know, so ultimately I felt bad in a sense because I've been there before and she was around trying to ultimately be a good friend through all of this. But I ultimately came up very well out of that situation. And she just looked like she was in a space where she wasn't going to be on that type of time after the fact. She didn't have anything to come back to. I had still a job. My job understood what I had going on, and they gave me time to work through my stuff and get my job back. That wasn't the case for her. You know what I'm saying? But mind you, it was just a lot, and I ultimately did not want to deal with that for real, y'all. And it wasn't because she was in this bad space, and I don't want to feel like I'm a bad person. It wasn't that. It's just that I didn't have all that drama. I didn't have all the crazy that she had going on, and I still remember what you tried to do to me. So I can't 100% trust you. I slick trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but y'all, you just cannot do that with people. Sometimes you have to leave their ass where they at. It didn't work out for a reason. Things went haywire for a reason because they just was not good people for your life, and she was just not a good person for my life. But I honestly felt like I said, I reached out because I wanted some type of closure. And we did go over there, and I'm asking her all these things. Why is she giving me whatever bullshit she giving me? I'm sure she knew that I was going to be asking her these things. I said, I cannot trust you. I have forgave you, but I can never trust you on that level because of what you tried to do to me. I said, you was willing to sacrifice me for your well-being. And how you know that he wasn't going to still do that to you? She's like, yeah, he was. Because she was telling me, it was another girl she was cool with and I knew. That girl, I don't know where she is. She don't know where she is. But she somehow got out of the situation. Y'all, it was crazy. Like, the stuff she was telling me, like, she was almost gonna like the girl. So, not only that, bitch, you got all kinds of karma coming around you. I don't want to be in that type of orbit of what you got going on because it can come off on me. I'm telling you, when you got people going through their karma, that stuff that they supposed to get coming back to them, you can feel the effects of it if you're around when they're going through what they supposed to go through. They got to go through that. Let them go through that, and then ultimately you can probably come back around. I wasn't trying to be around that. I've been through that with Boo Thing. I feel like anytime that I was dealing with him, stuff was happening in my life crazy. And I've mentioned that to y'all before, like when I was around a certain person, things was going on wrong for them. I feel like stuff was happening to me that wasn't even there. Like, it didn't even associate with me. But because I was associated with him, that shit was coming off on me. Like, y'all, I really believe in that. But anyway, so yes, it was just a lot. We get to the restaurant or whatever, we talking, we just whatever. And you can tell that she was fishing to try to go back to my house because she just kept saying, what part of town you stay in? And so you know, she looking at me like, you going, you seem to be doing well for yourself. Yeah, I'm doing okay, you know, yeah. She, you know, talking about my car I had, you know. Oh, y'all, and I forgot something. Y'all, this girl looked so bad. It just gave like homeless junkie cone. And I was like, she just kind of looked dusty. She just looked dusty. And not only that, y'all, I had light leather seats and it was the summertime. I had heated seats, but of course they're not going to be on, but leather traps heat. Y'all, this girl sat down and flounced her ass on my seats. And the sit down wind smelled like booty, coochie. Like, damn, did you wash your ass? I was like, oh my God. I blasted that air so damn high. I let the windows down like we was in California, letting the breeze blow through the sun. Y'all, I was so instantly like turned off, like, y'all, I just couldn't. I was like, what the fuck? I just could not get over the fact that this girl really had the audacity to come out the house like this. I know you can look better. You online looking decent. And those are recent photos, so I can understand why this chick felt the nerve to come out the house looking bum. Because, bitch, I ain't never gave you that when I was around you. So what make you think that? Not saying you got to dress to impress me, but damn. You knew who was going in public. And I was trying to help her gel that little nappy shit up, y'all. It just was not giving. I don't know. It was such a turn off. It just gross, just ugh. But anyway, like I said, and I was just like not hearing what she was saying. Baby, you would never come to my house. Number one, for the very thing you did to me alone. But number two, I don't need that. My friends cannot stay with me. I don't care what the fuck it is. Don't let your friends stay with you. It was not end well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the problem I had with my best friend. I really ultimately felt like she was mad at me for a long time because I didn't let her and her kids stay with me. Baby, I have no kids. I didn't have any kids. That was not gonna work out. And then you don't want anybody to discipline your kids. Oh, we was gonna be falling out because, baby, your kids ain't finna sit up here and do the most in my fucking house with all that noise doing the extra. And not only that, somebody was staying with me at the time. So why would I make them uncomfortable? for you and your children. You got family. She had family. And she was staying with them, but I really feel like the person that she was last with probably didn't like the fact that she was constantly leaving and going to stay with a dude that she couldn't bring the kids over there. Yeah, I ain't gave y'all no story times about my best friend for real. We're gonna have to come back on that. But like I said, if you dealing with a man, he got kids or not, if your kids can't come over there and sleep all night over there, why are you dealing with him? He knows your situation, but yet he's still willing to lay with you. And your kids are over at your folks' house. You got a little baby too that you recently had. Like, it was a lie. Like, girl, no. My friends can't stay with me. I'm sorry. That's the quickest way for us to lose friendship. So yes, y'all, it was just so much there. And I had, after that, like, we didn't talk for some time. Like, some months had went by. She damn near, you know, we had been texting, talking, and here and there, but after them little few weeks of texting, I didn't hear from her. So damn near a year later, she reaches out to me. Hey girl, giving me some lame ass excuse as to why she ain't really been talking. Saying she been going through a lot. And I know she had all that court crap stuff going on, but honestly, I didn't really care for real. Because like I said, I didn't want to be in her life while she's going through that, because it was just too much. And I was in a peaceful space in my life. Took me minutes to get there. Didn't need nobody else's shit in my life. So this was close to the holidays, whatever. And she, you know, ultimately telling me about, you know, she's supposed to be, no, I'm moving too fast. So she reaches out to me and she's like, yeah. It was close to the holidays, and she was telling me, you know, okay, my folks, my kids, they up in Nashville. My sister's supposed to be taking me to go see XYZ, this and the third. You know, she all happy or whatever. The job's going pretty good. She's just telling me about the stuff that's going pretty good in her life. And I'm, you know, I'm actually ultimately happy that stuff is seems to be panning out for her, even though it's not much and it's slow, but it still seems to be panning out for her. I do want to see her do well. I've been in crazy situations, not as crazy as hers, but I've been in a space where you just had hit rock bottom and you need to build yourself up from there. But you ultimately have to want to do it for yourself. I don't like a female that try to use a man for a crutch all the time, or burn your bridges with your folks because you're ultimately trying to use them for a crutch. One thing about Dree, she was definitely a user, y'all. Definitely a fucking user. I learned that about her over time. Like, I was really there for her, and I feel like she was just ultimately a user. And when she couldn't use you, you wouldn't hear from her. That's what I ultimately gathered, and I was just, it is what it is. I was okay with knowing that that's what it was. Because the type of friendship that we did have at first, when she was up, it was no longer there. I don't know. I wasn't trying to get her to do anything for me. It's just that, damn, be a friend. But anyway, so yeah, don't really care. Like I said, she did the ultimate crazy thing to me, so I wasn't really tripping for real. It's just that the audacity used to try to come back and try to do something or think that we can get back where we was that week that we did, that day we hung out. Like, girl, we are so far removed from what we used to be. And then you ghost me for damn near a year and I say, hey, yay, nay, or boo. No, we ain't finna work on nothing. But ultimately, I did not hear from her again, y'all. Some months later on down the line, it's the new year. I hear from her sometime like spring. And she's like, hey, girl. And she telling me about something and some stuff happened. And, you know, telling me about she also couldn't see the kids. And she just really wanted to get out and do this, that, and the third. She talking to some guy. She not with the old man no more. She with some other dude. For all I know, it's the dude that she used to talk to that she was trying to put me off on so he can do whatever he wanted to do with me. Like, I feel like it was that dude. It was that dude. And how I found out, when she reached back out to me, she, like I said, she wanted to hang out. Some crazy reason I kind of was agreeing because I was just, I don't know. I was like, you know what? We can link up here. We was going to link up and go do something. Or, you know, she wanted me to come over there for something I was going to have, but she wanted me to come. Yeah, I don't know what I had going on. I was like, okay, girl, yeah. And ultimately, I just think I just said it because, you know, I was in a good mood and I just wanted her to shut up because she just kept asking me all that week. She had been reaching out to me all that week. You gonna come, girl? Please come over here. I want us to hang out. And so one of the days, she called me like a couple of days before that weekend. And she was like, I told my dude about you. He know you coming over here. He's gonna be here. Is that okay? And she just kept saying, my dude gonna be here. My dude is, he know I like women. He know all about you. And he know I like you and want you and stuff. And I used to like you. He used to be my girl. He used to care. I said, no ma'am. I didn't say to her. I said to myself, I said, okay, girl, that's cool, that's cool. I knew I was not gonna go there. And I wasn't gonna say, girl, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that because she was just gonna continue to blow me. I didn't want to deal with all that. I didn't want her to constantly blow my phone up. She was gonna continue to do that. She's giving weird. She's giving set up shit again because why do I have to know that your dude's gonna be there? Why does your dude need to be anywhere around me anyway? I don't even know this man. But ultimately, like I said, I found out that it was the same dude because I saw her post him online. Like I saw at this point, you know, she's on Instagram. I'm seeing her. It's the same dude. He's on there. They done got back together. She moved back in. Like I said, I do not like females that feel like they need a man to live, to survive. Bitch, hold your own. And I get that she didn't have the best job at the time, but girl, you gotta want that. I feel like you wasn't trying to apply yourself because at this point you ain't got no felony, so you could have found something. I get you might not want to work in a warehouse environment or environment that's kind of giving that, but when you need money for real, you damn near should have, because at that time jobs were hiring people. So I didn't want to deal with all that shit she had going on because baby, no. When people are in a fight or flight situation, when they are in survival mode and they have no means to really get what they're trying to get at that moment, all they would try to do is take advantage of somebody that may be having a lot more going for them because I had motion going. So in my mind, all I'm thinking instantly, y'all, I got discernment for real. This girl wants to get me in a space with this dude, get me comfortable, get me high, get me drunk, and her dude come rob me, take advantage of me, do whatever to me. I'm driving a Benz. I'm looking nice. I'm not flashy because I ain't never been that girl. I ain't never been trying to be flashy with name brand stuff. But, you know, I'm driving a very nice vehicle and I'm looking nice. I look like I got, you know, some stuff going for myself, you know, because I did. But in my mind, oh, this girl's trying to set me up. Like, it's giving set up, bitch. I'm not gonna let you put me in that situation, y'all. So yes, I was like, no. And it was heavily on my heart, like, this is not the move you want to make. I said, okay, girl. And I got off the phone with her. But later on, like in a week, she's texting me, can you text this number for me? I'm like, text what number? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking to myself. What the hell she mean? I hadn't talked to her for a week or whatever. Even though she had just called me, like I said, I'm lying. I hadn't talked to her for a few days. You know what I'm saying? Even though we already established that we're supposed to link up that weekend. I mean, I ain't looking to talk to her all day anyway. But in my mind, I knew I wasn't going to link up with her. But I hadn't heard from you. And so you asking me to text a number. First of all, why I need to text something to a number? And it wasn't me to text a number for her. She wanted me to text something in particular to a number. I can't think of what it was. I said, Dree, you must be smoking dick. And that's all I said. Because again, it's giving setup, it's giving you trying to scam. I don't know what you're trying to do. People are smart as hell with these devices nowadays. I could be sending your dude a code and he could be trying to hack my information. People really be on it. And how I know he ain't one of them smart guys that know how to do that for real. Baby, you don't know a hacker. I mean, the average person that you think may not be that, be that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this. So no, she's like, oh my God, why are you so mean? It's just a text. I was like, yeah, okay. And I had this long drawn out text I was going to send this girl. I said, you know what? Fuck that. Y'all, excuse my mouth. Forget that. I ain't sending her none of that. I'm just not going to reply. She's going to get the hint. Because it's given, like I always felt years ago. I felt this years ago. You are a user. And now you're trying to be a snake user to try to set me up and rob me or do whatever you're trying to do. Because no, ma'am. Why was it in, why did I need to know, or why was you making such a big deal about your guy being there? And how I know it be some shady stuff, because just like last time, she kept pressing the issue about how far you are. It was the questions she kept asking over and over and over. Like he was pressing her to ask these questions. And so with this, she kept saying, my dude, my dude, my dude. He knows that I like women. He's okay with that. He gonna be, girl. I'm good, baby. I ain't saying none of this to her, y'all. But over time, I would get like these random like calls and messages and stuff from her. Like, baby, I was leaving that shit where it was. Because no, ma'am, you're not finna set me. So yes, y'all. Sometimes you just cannot rekindle anything with an old friend, a flame, or whoever it is. Sometimes you gotta leave their ass where they at. Because if it didn't work the first time, most times it's not meant to work again. It should have been right the first time. And like I said, she's a user. She's a habitual liar. She's a snake. She's all these things that I really can say about her because that's the truth. And some people, you can only love on them from a distance, you know, and eventually let them go and get over that. Not everybody wants to be helped, saved, or want to be in a better place. They love to be in a trauma situation. They love to be in drama. They love to be in a space to where they're struggling because they thrive off of that type of life. They thrive off of struggle and drama, you know, and they are needy people and don't want to do better. They want to continue to lean on other people and use them as a crutch. And you're not about to do that to me. And you're never about to be in the spaces that I'm in. No, ma'am. That time is gone. That time is expired. You was lucky to even be a part of that to begin with. But yes, y'all, I'm not going to drag this. I thought this has been long enough. And I'm so hoping my volume is not awesome. I'm going to check this stuff out when I get off of here. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm hoping y'all stay for the duration. Thank you to all my new and old subscribers. I'm hoping y'all continue to tune into this channel and stay because I am going to try my best to come back and give you more than one video a week. We're almost at 1,000 subs. I'm going to try to make sure I post more content here, and especially to my little membership section, especially to my membership section. Y'all can't talk. Especially to my members. Especially to my membership section. That's a lot of shit. Because they pay me a little smile fee to help your girl channel. And I appreciate y'all so much for that. And again, thank you for those that save y'all hypes for me. I appreciate y'all. That little feature alone has really helped this channel get out there quicker. I love y'all for that. And I love y'all that save all 3 of y'all hypes because you can only hype 3 times a week and I only post once a week. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, thank y'all. Even if it's just one, I appreciate you too, boo. And I thank y'all so much for coming. It don't matter if it's a star, bird, dog, cat, fish, a long paragraph, some insults, and if it's too crazy, I'm definitely gonna delete your comment, baby, because I don't need that here. I ain't gotta have that. And most people like, oh, it's engagement, engagement. Fuck that. Get your negative ass off my channel. If you don't like it, if it's a bothering you or whatever, baby, you ain't gotta tune in. Like, why do people gotta keep saying this to y'all stupid ass people? But anyway, make sure y'all turn on y'all post notification if you haven't already turned on your post notification so you'll know the next time I post. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Ultimately, I had to stop this video, y'all. I don't know. I hope I got volume on that other video. I hope I do. I'll be mad as hell if I gotta record all that over. But my little transmitter for this microphone was beeping or whatever. Yeah, I'm probably gonna record on my new camera. I don't know. I saw like a low battery, and I just didn't want it to get into a space where, I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't want it to get to a place where I ain't got no volume because I have literally recorded entire videos with no volume. We ain't finna have it. But anyway, so yes, I just don't want to deal with her in that capacity because I didn't have all that going on in my life, and I just felt the bad coming with it. She gone ghost. I'm gonna let it go ghost. You know, people ghost me for some weird ass reason. But anyway, like with her and her brother, like I just saw certain things before they even happened. Like I just ultimately felt like I just know when somebody's trying to set me up in a bad space or trying to wish bad on me. I just really feel it. I know it's there. I be feeling it. I can see it. I can't forgive you for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to forgive you for that, but I know I need to forgive you for that. I am almost at 1,000 subs, y'all, and I do plan on giving more content, especially to my, I can't even get my words out, y'all, to my membership section. Y'all love your girl.